Ahmedabad, India, the 12th of June, 2025. A Thursday afternoon like any other at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport. At Gate 34, a Boeing 787-8, registration VT-ANB, is being prepared for departure. Its destination? London Gatwick, nearly 9 hours away. 230 passengers, 10 cabin crew, 2 pilots, a captain with more than 15,000 flying hours, and a first officer with over 3,000. Both had rested, both had passed their pre-flight checks. Nothing about this day suggested it would become one of the most closely examined air disasters in recent history. At 0748 UTC, the aircraft pushes back. It taxis toward runway 23. The airline confirms it will need the runway's full length. Air traffic control clears the aircraft for takeoff at 080733 UTC. Wind, light, from 240 degrees, 6 knots. Nothing unusual. 80833 UTC. The aircraft reaches its decision speed, 153 knots. 2 seconds later, rotation speed. At 80839, the wheels leave the ground. Standard. Textbook. For a few seconds, flight AI-171 climbs like any other departure. Then, at 80842 UTC, 3 seconds after liftoff, something happens that flight data recorders would later capture with chilling precision. The fuel cutoff switches for both engines move from run to cutoff, not simultaneously, one after the other, 1 second apart. In an instant, the aircraft's 2 engines are starved of fuel. Thrust begins to fail on both sides at once. In the recovered cockpit voice recording, one pilot is heard asking the other why he cut off the fuel. The second pilot replies that he did not do it. The investigation has drawn no conclusion from this exchange. What is known from the data is only this: the switches moved. Within seconds, the ram air turbine, the aircraft's emergency backup, deploys automatically, a small propeller extending into the airstream to provide minimal hydraulic and electrical power. It is a system designed for exactly this scenario: total loss of engine power. Airport CCTV captures it, a tiny detail against the silhouette of a wide-body jet losing altitude.
10 seconds after the fuel was cut, the first engine switch is moved back to run. 4 seconds later, the second follows. The engines begin an automatic relight sequence. Exhaust gas temperatures start to climb. Engine 1 begins to recover. Engine 2 attempts to relight but cannot arrest its loss of rotational speed quickly enough. There simply isn't time. At 0809:05 UTC, 26 seconds after liftoff, a mayday call is transmitted. Air traffic control asks for the call sign. There is no reply. Seconds later, controllers watch the aircraft disappear beyond the airport boundary. The aircraft strikes trees and a chimney inside a medical college compound, less than a mile from the runway, before impacting the hostel building of BJ Medical College. Wreckage scatters across an area the length of 3 football fields. 5 buildings are damaged. The fire that follows burns for hours. 241 of the 242 people aboard do not survive. 19 more are killed on the ground. It is, by casualty count, one of the deadliest single aircraft accidents in over a decade. Within hours, India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, the AAIB, deploys a team led by its Director General. Under international protocol, Boeing, GE Aviation, the American Federal Aviation Administration, and investigators from the United Kingdom join the effort. 2 black boxes, enhanced airborne flight recorders, are recovered from the wreckage. One, badly damaged, yields no usable data. The other, found days later, is intact enough to be read. Nearly 50 hours of flight history and 2 hours of cockpit audio covering the accident itself. The physical evidence tells its own story. The flap handle is found locked at 5 degrees, a normal takeoff configuration.
The landing gear lever rests in the down position. The thrust levers, though found near idle after the crash, were confirmed by flight data to have remained at takeoff power the entire time. Both fuel control switches are recovered in the run position, consistent with the final seconds of the recording. Investigators also examined the aircraft's history. A 12-year-old airframe, engines installed just months before the flight. No unresolved defects tied to the fuel switch mechanism. An advisory bulletin from 2018 regarding that same switch design had been noted industry-wide, but was never mandatory and had not been acted upon.
As of this report, the investigation team offers no findings of cause. No recommendations have yet been issued to operators of the Boeing 787 or its GE engines. What remains is analysis of audio, of data, of fragments recovered from a debris field 700 feet wide. Under international aviation law, the purpose of this inquiry is not to assign blame, but to prevent it happening again. The investigation into Flight AI-171 continues. In memory of the 260 lives lost. Investigation ongoing. AAIB, Government of India.